ונשוב. Join us on Hashivenu, page 6. Hashivenu, page 6. Shivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva Hadesh Aleinu kekedem Hashivenu Adonai Elecha
Take a deep breath. Feels good. Take another one. Actually, isn't that's why we're here. Feel ourselves taking deep breaths. What a blessing it is to be here, to be able to take a deep breath. It's actually fills me with a lot of emotion to look out and see so many amazing human beings. It's such a gift and a blessing to return. We're here, and there probably, sadly, tragically, we know for sure there are people who will not be here on Rosh Hashanah and through these days of awe and Yom Kippur. We also know that how blessed we are because, in Mexico, hundreds of people have died from an earthquake, and in Harvey and Houston and the west coast of Florida and Puerto Rico with Maria. Oh my, how precious and fragile as our lives. So, as we're singing what the choir beautifully led us in, Hashivenu, return us, return us. I was thinking, if you pay attention to those words, return us, wait, to where? The problem actually is that sometimes we return and we return to these places where we're really stuck. These places that this verse, it's not telling us to return to the places we're stuck. I just read this little piece that a priest who spent many years listening to people's confessions, he said he learned two things about people's lives. Two things. One is that everyone has a greater story of unhappiness than they let you know. And two, there's no such thing really as a grown-up. So I can understand why someone would synthesize his or her spiritual career in that way. But I think what this Jewish moment is saying to us is something very different. It's saying to us, return us in Chadesh Yameinu, renew our days. Renew our days. Let's help us to return Hashivenu, but return to our highest selves, our highest moments. I know what I'm saying. You know. We know. Sometimes it's helpful just to hear it anew. So, may this beginning of this Rosh Hashanah help us to aim high for the place, the location where we're returning to, and know that every ounce of effort we put into helping our loved ones return to a higher place, by definition, for sure, it's going to help us enhance our day and make the coming year as sweet as it can possibly be.
So speaking of people who aim high, we call up the Rosenswags and the Luberts. Come on up. Sandy and Judy and Elliot and Stu. And as they come up to kindle the lights for the holiday, let's join in the reading together on the middle of page 10. Right next to the number 2. Together, all the stars are hidden and the moon is dark tonight. In the wide expanse of heaven, north to south, not a ray of light. Light a bright candle in my heart's shadowed tent. And through the wide expanse of heaven, the light will shine. Where there is sadness, let us offer love. Where there is fear, let us reach for hope. On this eve of the new year, may we bring light to one another. We have matches. Not a good start.
Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, teaching us holiness through sacred obligations, giving us the mitzvah of bringing light on this festival. Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us life, upholding the life within us, and bringing us to this time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של יום טוב. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We continue on page 15. At the new moon, at the full moon, for our feast day, sound the shofar, for that is the law of Israel, the way of God and of Jacob.
Tikeu v'chodesh shofar b'keseh leyom chageinu.
Please rise, we turn to page 17.
Here I am, so poor in deeds. I tremble in fear, overwhelmed and apprehensive before you, to whom Israel sings praise. Although unworthy, I rise to pray and seek favor for your people Israel, for they have entrusted me with this task.
Therefore, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, Adonai, Adonai, merciful, gracious God who inspires awe, I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame.
Accept my prayer as though it were offered by one more worthy of this task, a scholar, proficient in prayer, unblemished in character, pleasing in voice.
Let love be our banner. Let it banish our wrongs. May Israel's strife and misfortunes be turned into joy, renewed life, and peace. Love, peace, and truth. May they prevail among us, and may there be no impediment to my prayer.
Adonai, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, great, mighty, awe-inspiring, God Most High, who said to Moses, I will be what I will be. May it be your will that my prayer reach your presence, for the sake of the righteous and blameless, the honest and pure of heart, for the sake of your glory. You hear your people's prayer with compassion. Blessed are you, the one who hears prayer.
Page 19. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, yehi ratzon shenizkeh levirchotecha, b'shnat 5,078, Elohei olam, barech otanu v'et kol Beit Yisrael b'chidush yameinu. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5,778. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel, with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you in this new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vaed.
In the middle of page 23. The quickening of the moon calls us to return, and we gather, seam dwellers on the edge of the earth. As the sun lowers itself into the sea, introspection rises. A sliver cracks the heart of the firmament, the vast blackness, an invitation to write ourselves anew.
Baruch atah Adonai hamari varavim.
We pray together in the English on page 24. Love beyond all space and time, your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated as we continue on page 28 with the chanting of Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem
Emet.
On page 33, we continue responsively. To break the bonds of anger, to be generous of heart.
To break the bonds of shame, to live with self-respect.
To break the bonds of envy, to serve one another in joy.
To be attentive to all God's gifts.
To break the bonds of fear, to live with courage and strength.
To untie the knots of betrayal, to love with fullness of being.
To break the bonds of loneliness, to receive a hand of hope.
To break the bonds of self-centeredness, to extend a hand of help.
Released from the darkness, our people found their freedom at the sea. And we pray for liberation at the dawning of this year. In the middle of page 34, Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקיים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Page 37. Rosh Hashanah in the pines. Darkness settles slowly across the horizon. The new year rises before us, its fragile moon awaiting our embrace. Together, heaven and earth entwine in their annual dance of recreation. A fissure appears in the firmament tonight, an entranceway into new beginnings. Out beyond the swales, the sea expands and contracts, keeping time to the thrumming of the universe. Under this Rosh Hashanah sky, the path before us is uncertain. All we can do is hold each other tight as we make our way home. Hashkivenu is on page 36.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu Malkeinu חוקת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
We rise for Amidah on page 42.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, El Hagadol Hagibor ve'Anora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei Hakol ve'Zocher Chazdei Avot ve'Imahot u'mevii geula livnei bneihem lema'an shemo be'ahava. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'hotveinu b'sefer ha'chaim, le'manecha Elohim chayim. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'hotveinu b'sefer ha'chaim, le'manecha Elohim chayim. Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofech cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha bal gvurot umidom elach, melech meimit umechayei ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים. זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש, המלך הקדוש.
We now take a few moments of our own personal private prayer, standing or seated, whatever is your custom or your comfort. The prayers on the page and the meditations of your hearts will come together again in a few moments on page 60.
רצי אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל תקבל ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל. ישראל עמך אל קרוב לכל קורב פנה אל עבדך וחננו שפוך רוחך ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון.
Page 65. I want to write about faith, about the way the moon rises over the cold snow night after night, faithful even as it fades from fullness, slowly becoming that last curving and impossible sliver of light before the final darkness. But I have no faith myself. I refuse it, even the smallest entry. Let this, then, my small poem, like a new moon, slender and barely open, be the first prayer that opens me to faith. We turn to page 66. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki atahu melech adon lechol ha-shalom v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. בספר חיים בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה. בספר חיים, בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה. ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, לפניך. ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, לפניך. אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל, לחיים, לחיים טובים ולשלום. בספר חיים, בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
We now turn all the way forward to 2:45 to offer our Misha Berach prayer. The words are right in the middle, and as always, as we offer them, we bring into our hearts and minds anyone in need of healing of any kind, certainly the victims of earthquake and hurricane, and all those in our hearts and minds. We join together, Misha Berach 2:45.
Misha Berach avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach imotenu Mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We now turn back to 76 and rise for Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, ein lanu melech ela ata. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful,
you alone are our sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu, lemancha rachem aleinu.
Avinu
Malkeinu, for your sake, show us mercy.
Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu lema'an shemecha. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu, shalach refuah shlema l'cholei amecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, bring healing and wholeness to the ill among us.
Avinu Malkeinu, cha ra'ah gzar dinenu.
Avinu Malkeinu,
Scribe
the harshness of the decree against us. Avinu Malkeinu, kodvenu besefer geula vishua. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us in the book of redemption and renewal.
Avinu Malkeinu, Zochrenu, B'zichron Tov Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu,
Remember our goodness and call it to mind.
Avinu Malkeinu, Aseh Lemancha V'Hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake and save us.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu,
mighty and merciful, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu V'al Alolenu V'Tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Dever V'Chera V'Ra'av Be'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger and earthquake. Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Kol Tsar Mastime Aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu B'Sefer Chayim Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu V'Aleinu, Ki Ein Banu Ma'asim, Aseh Imanu Tzedakah Chesed V'Hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Amol Aleinu. Ve'alol aleinu v'tapeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu b'Sefer Chayim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Hadesh Aleinu, Aleinu, Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu V'Aneinu, Ki Ein Banu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah V'Chesed, Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu Avinu Malkeinu Avinu Malkeinu Avinu Malkeinu Honenu v'hanenu Ki ein banu masi.
Please be seated. Shana Tova. At this season, we rejoice. We have made it around the sun once more, and for this we are blessed and grateful. In many ways, the year has flown by. We blink, and it's September. A lot of life happens in a year. Since last Erev Rosh Hashanah, we have loved, we have lost, we have gained, we have grown, we have changed, we have challenged, we have been challenged. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, God, you are eternally strong, and I, for one, am jealous. The world is, in many respects, quite different than it was last year when we welcomed the year 5777. Our nation has transitioned in many ways, and the recent hurricanes affecting Texas, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and today Puerto Rico have felt challenging both in their actual impact and their unfortunate symbolism. It truly feels like a storm is brewing outside. Recently, I have found myself feeling emotionally fatigued, wondering if I have the internal strength to face reality in its fullness. I doubt that I am alone in this feeling. It is gvura, strength, resilience, that I need more of. Our ancient rabbis have prescribed Torah readings for us for these high holy days. Traditionally, Jews around the world read the story of the binding of Isaac, the Akedah, on the second day of Rosh Hashanah. There, God puts Abraham to the test. Abraham is told to go to the land of Moriah and offer his son Isaac as a sacrifice to God. Abraham gets all of his sacrificial supplies ready, preparing his son, 2 servants, wood, and the ma'achelet, the special sacrificial knife. They hike up the mountain and eventually reach a spot where Abraham tells his servants to stay back. Abraham takes Isaac up with him further up the mountain, and Isaac grows suspicious. He sees the wood, he sees the firestone, but no sheep for the offering. His father assures him God will see to the sheep. They walk on together, arriving eventually at the designated spot where the altar should be built. Abraham prepares the altar, binds his son Isaac, and puts him on the altar. Abraham picks up the knife, and in the moment just prior to making this sacred offering, an angel of God comes forth and stops Abraham. The angel calls out, "Abraham, Abraham," and he answers, "Hineni, here I am." The angel tells Abraham there has been a change in plans. No longer is Isaac to be the sacrifice. Abraham finds a ram stuck in the thicket and offers the ram instead. This challenging story is studied throughout the month of Elul, and the shofar we hear throughout the Chagim is a reminder of the ram Abraham finds to offer instead of his son to God. This story has led to generations of challenging conversations. Does Abraham pass God's test or fail? When I think of what he and his son must have been feeling, the fear, the anger, the zealotry, the pain, it's a heartbreaking story. When Abraham lifts the knife, can he see through his own tears to the face of his son? Can he steady his hands, or is his chest heaving with sobs so violently he can't even grip the handle of the knife? In the end, Isaac is spared, and Abraham gets a new covenantal promise from God. Abraham's descendants will be blessed and numerous. All the nations of the world will be blessed by Abraham's descendants because he obeyed God's command. Our saga ends with this verse. Abraham then returned to his servants, and they departed together for Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Abraham alone returns to his servants. Here's a man wanting to do right by his God, wanting to fulfill every word of every commandment. In the end, he proves his willingness to do the unthinkable, to offer his son to God. But Abraham does not return down the mountain with Isaac. Rather, Isaac does not return with his father. The Kotzker Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel, once taught the story of the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, to his students. We are taught that one of them asked, what was the hardest part of the Akedah for Abraham? Was it the initial call, the moment Abraham realized he was being asked to sacrifice his son to God? Was it the long walk up Mount Moriah as Abraham's mind filled with dread at the action he was about to take? Or was it the binding of Isaac itself, the moment Abraham saw his son prepared on the altar? The Kotzker Rebbe thought about this for a moment, and he answered his students, the hardest part wasn't any of these. The hardest part was coming down the mountain. What a journey down the mountain it must have been for Abraham. I wonder how he felt. Sad, surely, and confused. Did it feel bittersweet? Bitter because of the pain he knew he caused his son, but sweet because his actions led to a closeness with God? Was he afraid, knowing that this trauma on the mountain would surely impact his relationship with his wife and Isaac's mother, Sarah? I imagine Abraham coming down the mountain, encountering his two servants who waited there for him, and watching their faces as they realize Isaac is missing. Do they think he's been sacrificed? Maybe he answers their questions about Isaac with silence. He cannot meet their eyes, for he is so troubled by the events that have just happened. I imagine Abraham silently and stormily making his way back to Beersheba. I imagine how, in the heat of the desert, he relived the moment over and over in his mind, unable to shake the image of his favorite son's face from his memory. I imagine he thought about how his conversation with Sarah might go, rehearsing his part in his mind. How could he explain what he had done? Would he be able to ask for forgiveness? Could she ever forgive him? In the Torah, we read the story of the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, and then we find a genealogy. There, just after this story, we read Sarah's lifetime, the span of Sarah's life, came to 127 years. Sarah died in Kiryat Arba, now Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham proceeded to mourn for Sarah and to bewail her. Tragically, one of the traditions around this story is that after the binding of Isaac, Sarah and Abraham never speak again, because the Torah text does not include any scene where Abraham and Sarah see each other before her death. There was no moment of reconciliation, no moment of groveling, of begging, of pleading, no moment to share shame or express embarrassment. Maybe she died from heartbreak. But from what we read in the Torah, Abraham never got a chance to apologize, never got the chance to be forgiven. This event, I believe, was the biggest regret of Abraham's life. Over the last several weeks, I've asked many of you to do a brave thing. On a seemingly innocuous dry erase board in the lobby of this very synagogue, I have prompted you to write your biggest regret. And I must say, I have found your responses deeply moving. I'm going to share some of these regrets here and now, and though I'll read them like a list, I want to say first that we, as the people hearing these regrets, honor that every person has their own truth. Some of these regrets may sound funny, or they may make us uncomfortable. But there is beauty in the truth of all of these regrets, and I'm grateful to all of you who shared one. Once I gathered your responses, it seemed to me that the regrets fell into a few categories. First, there were regrets around traveling. You wrote that I never lived in another country, that I didn't run away in London and stay there, and not doing a gap year in Israel. Another category had to do with occupations and professional training. You wrote, being a painter, not being able to paint, not becoming a teacher, that I didn't go to law school, that I didn't go to aviation school, not finishing college and getting my degree, wasting time on shallow things when I could have been learning, that I didn't go to grad school right after college. While nobody wrote that they regretted learning too much, someone did write massive college loans. I feel that. 2 people remarked that they regret not knowing Hebrew. Another category that seemed to form was of regrets around body and soul. You wrote that you regret that I can't lose weight, dyeing my hair, not getting in better shape before pregnancy, not taking better care of my hearing, not being able to have children. You wrote, worrying about everything, not finding myself and loving myself sooner, not enjoying the moment, not trying my hardest, not becoming whole sooner, didn't get help for myself to deal with parents' alcoholism, acting like a doormat. You wrote that I didn't work as hard as I could, didn't take advice well when I was younger. My elders truly knew it all. Voting for Trump. Not doing more in school to prevent racism and anti-Semitism. Finally, the largest category emerged, the cluster of regrets that had to do with family. You wrote, I didn't understand my husband was in terrific pain before he passed away, that I don't know more about my ancestry, my grandparents, can't reconnect with my daughter, not being with my mother the moment she died, not having another child, not telling my parents I love you enough, widow, not spending more time with my family and stop dwelling in the past, never meeting my father-in-law before he died, breaking a friendship because the friend hurt you. You wrote, not staying near my family, not being able to help my child, bumping you into the corner of the wall and leaving a scar, not spending more time with my father in the years after my mother died, not helping a friend in need, getting married. These regrets are powerful. They are real. They reflect moments in time, moments past, relationships, pain, missed opportunities. I find it striking that so many of the regrets began with not, or that I didn't, or that I can't, or never. Very few of these regrets were regrets of action. They were regrets of inaction. When they were about relationships, most of them were about past moments or current inability to reconcile. Some of the regrets, luckily, like regrets about not learning Hebrew or not being able to paint, are regrets that something could be done about. It's not too late to learn Hebrew or how to paint. Some of the regrets seem to be about things that took place long ago, while others reflected fresh wounds. Many of them came with a learning opportunity. You couldn't hear your elders give you advice when you were younger, but now you're older, and you've learned. You have your own wisdom to share. Some regrets are about missing opportunities that were once in a lifetime, opportunities that won't happen again. These moments cannot be relived, and so there is regret. Abraham's biggest regret, I believe, was not the act of binding his son and offering him as a sacrifice. I believe Abraham's biggest regret was that he was not able to talk to his family about what happened. This is one of the hardest parts of this season of teshuvah, repentance. When we've wronged someone, we know we're supposed to ask for forgiveness. But what happens when the person we've wronged is no longer in relationship with us? What happens when they're no longer here in this life? What happens when the regret is so real, so deep, so sharp, that it feels like there's nothing that can be done? There is no easy answer, of course. So many of the regrets that you've shared are connected to loss. Loss of person, loss of partner, loss of opportunity. For many, the loss was of a path of life. Their life took a turn. They lost a certain potential or plan or aspiration. For others, the loss was of a previous self, of youth, of the stability of family they once enjoyed. Almost all of the regrets had to do with loss. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, you are eternally strong, God. And I believe that living with regret, learning and growing from our past mistakes can take a great deal of courage and resilience. This summer, I read the book Option B, Facing Adversity, Building Resilience, and Finding Joy by Sheryl Sandberg and Adam Grant. The book is a project that arose out of Sheryl's personal journey through her husband's unexpected death while exercising in the gym on vacation, and the life that she has built through the tragic loss. Hers is a story of gvura, of resilience, and also of immense growth and recovery. Of course, hers is only one story, but it is a powerful one. In her book, Sheryl Sandberg writes about the inevitability of challenges. When, not if, we face loss, what response will we have? Will we be filled with regret, or will we be resilient? She writes, resilience comes from deep within us and from support outside us. It comes from analyzing how we process grief and from simply accepting that grief. Sometimes we have less control than we think, and other times we have more. I learned, she says, that when life pulls you under, you can kick against the bottom, break the surface, and breathe again. Thinking about Sheryl's experience and the many regrets you shared, something sparked for me. When a Jewish person is in mourning, they rend their garments or tear a ribbon, and we call this kriyah. Kriyah is performed standing up, showing that our hearts may be torn, but we are physically in the position to carry on, to continue moving forward. But for the 7 days that follow, the period of Shiva, we traditionally sit as close to the floor as possible, uncomfortable in our grief. There's a tradition that at the close of the period of Shiva, the mourners are lifted up from their low place and walked around the block. This shows that we need our community to lift us up and to help us heal. It is when we are surrounded by the care and kindness of our community that we learn to be resilient. Sheryl Sandberg has observed this community-based resilience as well. She writes, resilience is not just built in individuals, it is built among individuals. When we build resilience together, we become stronger ourselves. Collective resilience requires more than just shared hope. It is also fueled by shared experiences, shared narratives, and shared power. This is, I believe, the strength of Judaism. We are a collective of shared experiences, narratives, and power, and we are also a people of undying and unapologetic hope. When I asked you to share your biggest regret, I didn't ask you to write it on a slip of paper like a secret only I could see. I asked you to boldly inscribe your regret in a public place, and your regrets were soon accompanied by others' regrets. Together, whether you realized it or not, you were building a community of resilience. And this, I believe, is the most powerful part of this High Holy Day season. As we reflect on our year and on our relationships, we may be faced with difficult truths. As we move through these days of awe, of repentance, we will privately confess our individual sins, but we will also confess as a community. We will articulate our alphabet of sins in the plural form. We have wronged others. We have been disrespectful. We have been unkind. We have hurt others. We will stand in solidarity together as a community, as a people. At times, each one of us may be the one sitting low to the floor, But at other times, we might be the one helping our neighbor walk around the block, helping them feel the strength of the community behind them to catch them when they fall. At this season in particular, we feel the gvura, the resilience of being a sacred community. But what about Abraham? How could he find the inner fortitude to heal, to continue on after the events on Mount Moriah? What did it feel like to have so much unresolved with his family when he returned to Canaan to mourn for his wife? In this way, the Torah gives us a glimpse into the rawness of living. Who among us has not been impacted by unresolved grief, of guilt, of shame? Who has had the chance to say everything they wanted to their loved ones? Abraham finds himself in a land not his own. Sarah dies in Hebron, and the land there is occupied by the Hittites. What can Abraham do? He negotiates with the Hittites, buys a plot of land, and lays his wife to rest. Abraham moves from trauma on Mount Moriah to suffering in Hebron, from loss of relationship to loss of spouse. The story is heart-wrenching. But our patriarch's suffering feels too real, too raw. In Viktor Frankl's words, in some way, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. Abraham finds gvura, resilience, to move forward. He plans for the future. He goes from loss to life. You may have in your life conversations that have gone unsaid. It may be, as in Abraham's case, too late to have these conversations, but there is a way to work through the regret, to work to build inner resilience. Sheryl Sandberg presents 4 core beliefs we should teach our children to raise their resilience, but I find them powerful beliefs for us no matter our age. She teaches that these 4 things can help children on their lifelong project of building resilience. They are: 1, you have some control over your life. 2, you can learn from failure. 3, you matter as a human being. 4, you have real strength to rely on and share. This year, 5778, I suggest we carry these 4 things with us wherever we go. We have some control over our lives. We can learn from failure. We matter as human beings. We have real strength we can rely on and share. In the concluding paragraph of an article on the binding of Isaac, the late Tikva Freimer-Kensky wrote that in its stark horror and ambiguous statements, the story of the Akedah remains the central text in the formation of our spiritual consciousness. But which moment, which part of this horrifying story leads to our spiritual consciousness? Vayikra elav malach Adonai min hashamayim vayomer Avraham, Avraham, vayomer hineni. An angel of God called to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham, and he answered, Hineni, here I am. This year, we will answer the call. We will be present. Part of being resilient is showing up, recognizing our own gvura, our own strength, and finding people upon whom we can lean when we need to. This is the story of our people. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. once wrote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." About this, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs teaches, difficult though Jewish faith is, it has had the effect through history of leading us to say, if bad things have happened, let us blame no one but ourselves, and let us labor to make them better. It was this that led Jews time and again to emerge from tragedy, shaken and scarred, yet resolved to begin again, to rededicate ourselves to our mission and faith, to ascribe our achievements to God and our defeats to ourselves. Out of such humility, a momentous strength is born. That's what these high holidays are all about. They are about facing the difficulties in our lives, facing our mistakes, facing our pain, and then in the face of it all, standing up and moving ever forward. In a memoir, the late 36-year-old neurosurgeon Paul Calathini reflected on his life after a terminal stage 4 lung cancer diagnosis. He wrote, "I began to realize that coming face to face with my own mortality, in a sense, had changed nothing and everything. 7 words from Samuel Beckett began to repeat in my head: I can't go on, I'll go on." Or, as we might say, Hineni, I'm here, I'm present. That is, to me, resilience. That is Abraham standing on the top of Mount Moriah saying, I can't go on, I'll go on. That is Abraham traveling to Canaan after Sarah dies saying, I can't go on, I'll go on. That is standing up at the end of a period of mourning, taking those first steps outside the house, facing your new reality and saying, I can't go on, I'll go on. That is not going to grad school right after college. That is not taking advice from your elders. That is not helping a friend in need. That is not understanding your loved one was in immense pain before they died and saying, I can't go on, I'll go on. That is hearing the call, answering Hineni, and being present. It is facing the pain of regret and moving toward action. It is remembering that we are created in God's image, and though we may not be Gibor Leolam, eternally strong like God, we do have Gvura, resilience, and strength within. May this year be a sweet new year for us all. May we recognize the control we have over our lives. May we learn from failure. May we realize we matter. May we find our real strength, the internal gvura upon which we can rely and share. As we reflect on this past year, may we be filled not with regret, but with self-compassion that moves us to action. This year, hold on to your resilience and remember the resilience we have as a community, because it is from our connections that incredible strength comes. May it be a year of gvura, strength and resilience, and of growth. Shana Tova.
Yul ratzon imrei fi, Yul ratzon imrei fi, Vegion libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you. O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru,
A few announcements. The first of which is that I can speak for myself. I am much more resilient having Rabbi Muhlbaum on our team. Gives us a whole lot of gevura and more. So, always in this high holiday season, we talk about collecting food for the hungry. And we have, since we really made the pledge to keep St. Al's, our local Catholic Church's food pantry filled, we have done so because of the efforts of so many, first and foremost, brotherhood. So we encourage you to bring food in this season all the way up to Yom Kippur, but even more important and even more efficient will be actually writing a check to Temple Beth-El and indicating food pantry in the memo. That enables us to buy food in bulk to get exactly what the food pantry needs. So one of the primary modes that we have for doing the work of tshuva, of repentance, of renewing ourselves is tzedakah, of righteous action. That's a huge way that we get ourselves empowered and resilient. So
on Yom Kippur, bring a check for some food.
Or mail one in.
Exactly. Okay. Just a few thoughts about tomorrow. To be, as in last year, we'll have a couple opportunities to be close to the Torah. There'll be a Torah table in the social hall. There's one back in the Oneg room. If you want to follow along in the Torah chanting tomorrow, just go to that table back in the Oneg room or in the table in the social hall. Somehow we have this notion as Jews that being close to the Torah has enabled us to survive many, many, many generations and experience lots of miracles. We want to thank you all who are up here, starting over here, Andy, Aaron, Sharon Roth. It's great it's a privilege to be on this bima with you. Dear Ron, you as well.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., be there or be square. Also, be here or be square. If you have tots, if you want to come with children or grandchildren between the age of 2 and 6, there will be a service for little ones on the Rudin Garden in a tent. And at the same time, 10 a.m., right alongside the tot service in the Rudin Chapel will be a family service led by Rabbi Muhlbaum. 7 to 11-year-olds and parents are invited to pray together in the Rudin Chapel. There's babysitting for 18 months through 6-year-old children, 10:45 drop-off. And programming, after both the family and tot service are concluded at 11, there's programming for children who are 7 to 11 years old. Beginning at 11. If you're 12 and up, come sit, learn something, pray. And of course, our morning will conclude, as always, with a mighty shofar blast right around 12:45, and our children will join us. And tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m., Stepping Stone Park, don't bring matzah. I heard it's bad for the geese, but bring your bread. We rise for Aleinu,
page 82.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים
may be seated. Of course, these holiday times are times of memory, poignant memory for all of us. But in our community, we are remembering those for whom we are still observing Shloshim, still in the 30 days: Daniel Axon, Denise Fubini, Jeffrey Kaplan, and the Yordzites this week for Callie, Christiane, Abram Hollins, Bessie Hollins, and Ruth Marcus. And all those we name in our hearts, we rise for the Mourner's Kaddish, page 90. Sorry to make you sit down and stand up. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon u'vyom echon u'fchayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata ta'amiran b'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. We conclude with Adon Olam. It's on page 94.
94.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra v'eit nasa v'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiflot hakol v'ba'ado yimloch nora ve'hu Tifara, vehu ehad ve'ein sheni, lahamshilo lechavira, beli reshit, beli tachlit, ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamisra, vehu eli ve'hai goali, ve'tzor hevli be'etzara, Ve'unisi umanosli menat kozi beyom ekra beyado afkid ruchi be'hishan ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviyati Adonai li ve'lo
close with the words of Rabbi Rudin, Rabbi Jacob Rudin, who preached in the synagogue for almost 40 years. His sermon on the Erev Rosh Hashanah of 1940. But where, you ask, is God for us? Where is He for the Jews who are innocent and the first victims of mankind's madness? God is in the blackout. God is in the war to save His word and His world. God is with us who cry out against injustice and oppression. God is with us who know when merely pity is not enough. God is with men and women whose hearts are not hardened. God is with us whose hearts feel pain and suffering. We know pain and we know suffering, and we know courage and we know faith. Even though He slay me, yet I will trust in Him. And Israel, on this New Year's Day, is not afraid. Shana Tova.
Leshana Tova tikatevu, Leshana Tova tikatevu, Lishana Tova, Lishana Tova, Lishana Tova, Tikatevu, Vetikatevu,